All right, so a lot of folks want to get a text to show, like type in participants be able to open respond to questions. You have a program that you can download as a zip file off our website that does exactly this. So it has 3 components to it. This is just an instruction component. Text, press a key, no big deal. You'll see it when it's on there. I'm not going to talk about that. This right here is a 2-second text prompt. So it says it's always going to show the word target word at the top, and underneath it, it's going to cycle through a bunch of different target words in your Excel file. Remember, Mac users, you got to browse to the Excel file even if it shows up, because otherwise it'll crash. I do not know why. But that, c'est la vie, right? This is not important. The magic happens here. This is an always present instruction. That's like no big deal. This text right here is a blank text. This is very important. You need to have a blank text. And then everything's happening in the code. When you begin the routine, modify equals false. Modify is a variable that they use in a function later. Don't worry about it. Text.text is blank. So that is referring to this right here. This guy is called text. This first text refers to this guy. The second text is what we call an attribute. So it's like the text of the text, right? It's a little repetitive, but here, I'll just say it this way. If I were to change this right here to text2, this would change to text2, and this would stay the same. Text2.text is the text of the text2 component. No big deal. Events.clear events keyboard, just making sure to clear the keyboard events. Right here, this is JavaScript. Don't worry about it. If I switch it to Python, you'll never see it. The JavaScript is there for online experiments. What I haven't really told you is that if you figure this out, you can start putting experiments online. I can actually teach you JavaScript. JavaScript's not that hard. So we're doing pretty dope. If you also like coding and want to help me with some work, come to my office. I'll put you to work. Okay. The real magic happens in each frame. They are creating a variable called keys. That is, event.getKeys is a Python code. It's just saying, hey, get the keys that are being pressed right now. It exists. Somebody else programmed it. You don't need to know what goes into it, but essentially it's just sucking up all the keys you press. Each frame means it's doing this every 16 milliseconds. Excuse me, y'all. So if key has a length, it's a weird way to write it, but whatever. If space in keys, so if keys has a space in it, text.text equals text.text plus space, right? You'll see where this will come in handy. It doesn't have period, it doesn't have comma. You can add comma and period to here. Elif, right? Else if, backspace, in keys, text.text, this text, attribute text, text.text, the words that are going to be presented on the screen, equals text.text minus 1. If you hit the left shift or right shift, we're changing modify to true, and we're going to handle that later. Else if return in the keys, continue routine equals false. If you hit enter, the routine ends. Else, right? If modify, right, you got to get text.text equals text.text plus keys.upper, so shift, it's making it all capitalized, right? Set modify equal to false just for fun. Else text.text equals text.text plus keys without no upper. This right here is just saying, hey, we're going to take your text.text, that equals the old text.text plus anything that you've pressed in the last 16 milliseconds. So that is perfect, right? If you were to change this to like text, let's say it's message, right? If message.text equals message.text, message.text equals message.text, message.text equals message.text, like message.text equals message.text. You got to do that everywhere. End routine, if you want your data, you got to do it here too, right? This experiment.add data, so it's adding data to this experiment. That's the function in CyclePy. Typed word, it's going to be called typed word. You can change the name here if you want. No big D's. and text.text. If you want to change it to message.text, message.text, and experiments, there's nothing. So essentially, if you want to use this, I just start with this program, get it to do what I want to do, right? Particularly like if it's me, I'm probably getting rid of the text prompt. I might be, if I have a questionnaire, I might be adding, instead of the instructions, putting the like money sign, go through different questions in there. I'm getting rid of the instructions because I don't need it. Essentially, what's it? You can get rid of text prompt and instructions by just control click remove, control click remove, right? And just stick in here and having everything you need. Oh, now I'm hitting random buttons. I don't know what I pressed there, but that's okay. Now let's run it, see what happens. This computer is slower than my last one. You can see I just deleted a bunch of stuff, but this is basically, now it's just going to come up on the screen eventually. Take its sweet time to load. Look, when I hit the semicolon and stuff, you know, hit semicolon, it does that. Spaces, it puts in spaces. Apostrophe, slash. This is actually a fun program for you to figure out what the button names are. 9, 0, parent left, right? Parent right. So, you know, essentially, there you go, friends. I'm going to have to